Alrighty, and here is the video review for the Night Morpher Hearts of Steel Cyber Engine Night Morpher KM-05 SCREECHER, which, as you can see, is clearly painted in an homage to the Hearts of Steel Starscream based on the design. Now, we already saw the mold once as the Awakening version, the unpainted version. And here they are. You can kind of see the difference between the two. And I know there was some concern that some of these all this awesome detail on the Awakening version would get lost when it got painted, and that's really not the case, because if you look at this, you'll see that most of all of those little details are painted, which is like individually. There's the vents are painted here on the shoulders. There's some gold vents in here. There's gold detailing around the edge here. This vent up here, the cockpit. And especially when you come back here around to the back, like there's some little gold greebles down here. The steam vents here are painted. The engine nozzles here are blue. The shoulders here are like this burnished copper and silver. Yeah, like even these gears, which are molded in the same blue plastic, are painted black to look like gears, both here on the arm, and there's a couple other places where that happens that we'll see in robot mode. So never fear, this is a really beautiful paint job on what was already an absolutely gorgeous figure. Like, I really love these things. Mastermind Creations has really been stepping up their game lately, and this is proof of that. And I can't wait to see some of the other stuff that comes out. Like, I'm really looking forward to their Terminus Hexatron and some of the other stuff they've got planned. So yeah, here is the Awakening version. And before we get turning him into, or not the Awakening version, the full-on, full-color SCREECHER version of what we saw already as the Awakening version. And it's just gorgeous. Before we get into that, one little secret, not so secret, really, most people figured it out. You see there's the train tracks from, I'm using today Night Morpher Commander. It'd probably work better with Annihilator, since bad guys and stuff. But you can indeed, you put Commander on the tracks here. We'll put Awakening on here first. You can attach this. Let me fold the wings up a little bit so they fit here. This peg can indeed peg into the rear of the train with the wheels riding in the tracks here. But not only that, there's some pegs on the knee here on these guys that flip out. And if you flip them out like this, you can then take the next one in line. There's a couple there's peg holes in the bottom of the feet here that can peg into these. Like that, and you kind of have to work and wiggle it here, get these out so they peg in. But peg in like that. Yeah, come here, you. Come on. Go in. Sorry, this is... There we go. Well, you get the point. You can peg them in here. This was this earlier today. You can peg the feet on. Like this. There we go. It helps if you get into an angle where you can actually control the feet a little better. But there we go. Peg those on, and then they can sit behind each other and be towed together behind the again, like I said, Annihilator. Just like that. Okay, so they're coming off the tracks, but you can see they're hooked together and can be towed. So yeah, that's pretty cool, and just one of the little secrets. There's another one coming up that I think is going to be pretty neat here with SCREECHER. So let me get the wheels down. We'll get to that in just a second once we get them into robot mode. And transformation is exactly the same as before with Awakening. You just take them here like this, and it helps if you go ahead and fold the wingtips in here. Unpeg them from here, and then just go ahead and bring this back and unsnap the peg here, bring that down and in, flip this whole piece back, and then at the same time, actually we're going to do that here in a minute. Let's get the legs done first. It helps you work from the bottom to the top and then top to the bottom, and You're going from robot to alt mode. So unpeg the legs. Unpeg these bits right here. Bring the legs down and around like this. Lower this piece back here. Rotate the waist around. Flip it back up. Flip these pieces down. Flip the foot up. Pull it out and flip it up like this. Then come up here. Unpeg these arm flaps, which let these come down. And I'll flip out the fists. There we go. And again, flip out the fist. Unpeg the arms from right here. And there you go. Go ahead and bring the wings. Bring up. There we go. Come up here. Fold the wings down, just like this, which with this piece down, which pops his head up, which you can flip forward. And again, you can leave it like that if you want a more classics seekery look to your head. You can kind of see his face there. So you tilt him up. There we go. He's got that little smirk there. There we go. Look at that. Red eyes, a little smirk. Really kind of neat. Or you can flip out the head fins that they had. That in the comic book they were actually reminiscent of. Apparently they all took the form of like mechanical dino beasts in this storyline. And the Seekers did have some kind of fins on their head, and so they kind of kept those in the design. And they became robots. So I'll pull the shoulders up like that. Focus the camera. Alright. So, and here we go. There he is. He retains all the same posability. He only comes with, unlike Awakening, which came with all three versions of the Seeker weapons, he just comes with the chain guns here, the Gatling guns here. Here, let me get this back up here and show you the head with the fins out. Let's see it there. See if I can get that better shot that we got before. There we go. Oh, come on. My hand kind of helps deflect the light, but you get the idea. Now, again, I promised more secret stuff, but you could just look at that. I mean, like, here he is in comparison with the Awakening version, which was cool, and you see a lot of detail in it, but, like, the painted version just really pops as well, and you can see all the detail is still there, and I just love that they painted all the little greebles and bits, and you know, even these little kneecap buttons have some gold paint on them here versus the plain over here. Just really nice. This is just a really amazingly done figure. It's very solid despite some of the thinness and parts that can feel fragile. I mean, like, I don't want to say want to feel fragile. There's parts that you want to be careful with, but it doesn't feel fragile at all. It feels, you know, delicate and elegant, but not fragile, if that makes sense. So yeah. Now, before we knew, and this is something I've been waiting to show off. We knew you could do this, pop the hip fins off, combine them together to give him a double-bladed weapon, which is quite cool. Like that. We've seen that. One of the things you might not know is you can do is that if you come back here, flip these up to unlock the wings, and pop them off like this, just like that. You can take the wings here, flip up these little pegs that come in, flip them over, and you'll notice where the wing pegs in here and here on the wing, you can actually take these, snap these together. If I can get that working here. I don't know why this isn't snapping here. Let's do one at a time. There we go. There we go. And give him, flip this out, and give him an even bigger double-bladed weapon here. That he kind of has to hold like this, if you can even get him to hold it this way. You kind of have to fit, I guess you kind of have to fit it over the gun and plug it in. But you can give him an even bigger double blade to really wreak some havoc with. But wait, there is more, because aside from that giant weapon here, you can it's a little tighter on this one than on my Awakening version. There's, on the end of each one, there's this little divot here. And if you take that divot and match it up with this thing, with this part right here, this can plug into the wing like that. And again, back up here. And you want to do this first. You want to slide this into the end of the wing first, because this piece is just going to slide into the opposite matching piece on here when you snap it together. You want to make sure to put these in, slide them into the end first before you snap it together, because if you snap this into the, if you try to plug this into here and then snap it together, you'll end up breaking this part. And then I think you can see how this fits into here with this thing. Make sure it all lines up before you snap it in. You can give him an even gianter, huge spin wheel of doom. That honestly is really cool, because again, you fit it over the gun here. You can also, if you choose to, you can pop the gun off and have him hold it a little bit more normally. But I love leaving the gun on, because once you get it in his hand, it kind of works as like this. Rotate his arm. It works as like this whirlwind, almost kind of like a whirlwind shield that he can shoot through. And I just think that's really neat. Arm doesn't want to rotate here. There we go. And again, and he's totally capable of supporting it. You just got to get the legs all right. But yeah. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, you can give him this kind of giant whirlwind shield, which I just think is really, really neat. And I've been sitting on that. Vangelis has mind controlled me for the last like month, because he wanted to be the one to show it off first, and has been constantly like wired into my brain and telling me not to. But I got it first, and I beat you, or something. I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. There's one of the big secrets of the Airborne Squad mold, is this giant pinwheel of doom, spin wheel of doom. So yeah, and again, when you pop it apart, just make sure to pop it off his hand first. I guess you kind of give him a But yeah, you want to go ahead. You want to make sure just to pull it apart here like that before you try to detach the wings, and then just slide them out the end, just to make sure you don't break it. And then again, you just take this back here, snap it right back onto his back here. Make sure this line. And again, make sure the gear lines up here. And once you do that, once you snap that on and the gear's all lined up, you can take the gear and roll it down to lock that wing on. We'll do the same over here. Put that sideways, snap it on, rotate that down to lock the wing on, and there is SCREECHER back in robot mode. He's really, really cool. Just a quick size comparison. I think we've done this before, but there he is with steel core. But he's just an amazing figure, and they're all the painted versions just look awesome. So yeah, they're available for pre-order at TFSource or other fine retailers. I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, Mastermind's blowing it out of the water, and when you see some of the stuff that's coming up from them, it's just gonna be outstanding. There's a lot of really neat stuff coming down the pipe from them. So there it is, Night Morpher SCREECHER. Oh, something I forgot to mention real quick. It was sitting over here, is blending in with some of the Voltron stuff I had over here. It does come full sprue here of little rivet covers. Also comes in the package. They were pictured in the Awakening album, but they didn't come with them. But there's just some thin little blue detailing rivet covers that you can snip off of here and put into all of the little various, especially here on the wing rivets, to cover those up. So I haven't done it yet. It's not something I'm going to do on camera, because if you can see, these are really, really tiny, and I don't want to risk losing them. But yeah, just a little added bonus. If you don't like some of the actual revealed rivets, you have the option of capping those, which is really nice. So yeah, just wanted to add that in. I totally forgot to mention it in the video itself, and I didn't want to forget it. Just one more reason to like Mastermind and their Night Morpher line. This is really cool. Because they didn't have to do this, and they did. So there you go.